One day I was surfing television channels just looking for something to watch when I stumbled on a local channel, now defunct, that aired a daytime show, and it had next to the same elements of Power Rangers. It was during the final part of the episode when I found it, and I decided to watch it out and find the name Haim Saban in the end. I was left to question what that show even is, because none of what I saw that day is among what I ever read on Power Rangers. My family and I didn't have internet at the time, so of course I couldn't find out the easy way. What I did manage to do was calibrate the day and time as to when I could watch the next episode. And when I got the chance, I was able to acknowledge its identity. VR Troopers. I reasoned with myself that this is a show for people who watch Power Rangers and would like to see something else that gives a similar sensation. Mr. Saban probably intended it to be that way. So I tried to sit through some episodes, which turned out to be of the first season. I also did watch a few episodes of the second season later on. It was only some parts of it that I was able to find actual enjoyment. I did hope the show would one day have a resolution. It was first aired in 1994, and so there had to be a time when they would stop making new episodes. If I have to put my experience with this show to words, it's that the entertainment impact for me isn't on the same peak as with Power Rangers. It's only a hand selection of its elements I can sit and fit with. First but not foremost, I'm not all that into the theme of virtual reality, and I don't think there's much of an audience for it. I do appreciate a little bit that an amount of what I see the heroes do involve advanced technology. It's just that I can't see its emphasis in virtual reality. Somehow it makes the show overall feel like it probably shouldn't be in the 1990s. Reasonably, Power Rangers has science fiction involved from time to time. But here, such elements make me think I shouldn't watch the show until the 22nd century. And while the Power Rangers have such identities that the audience is able to know who is who, the troopers are simply called the troopers, although it's seemingly not what they should be called. They don't have any appropriate trooper names. They still address each other by their real names. But the suits definitely help you know who's who. But I'm disputable upon myself about Ryan's suit as it looks in the second season. I feel like it only looks like someone else is wearing it, and the person wearing it ought to be a fourth team member. On the other hand, I think it suits him better than the suit in the first season. I wouldn't say I have mixed feelings about it, but just thinking about Ryan being in two different suits, is he really the same character that way? The action scenes are kind of a fraction less of the action Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is in. The monsters for each episode have significantly less screen time than those of Power Rangers. But the heroes, when they're not in their suits, fending off the foot soldiers, is the closest to getting the same experience as Power Rangers. And speaking of the foot soldiers, there are the Skugs, as they're called in the show. But some of the differences are rather fiddly to make sense of. They can acquire human disguises to work undercover, which works in general, and they disappear when they end up touching each other. So once that's figured out, the heroes know what to do. But then there's this idea that the heroes are confronted by only a few at a time, regardless of their seeming ability to multiply. Unlike the foot soldiers and Power Rangers, who are sent by a multitude. For one thing, the appearance of each Skug is pretty something for their gold heads, black bodies, and capes. But when the heroes only need to dispose a few Skugs in their civilian selves every day, and for the way the Skugs can be caused to vanish, don't you think the heroes have the upper hand already? Talking about the clothes that the focused heroes wear, none of them are required to wear the same colors for every episode. So recognition of the faces is more dependent. But that considered, they should have done more with the colors of the regular outfits. I noticed that Brian, JB, and Caitlin have each worn at least one of the same colors several times. The producers could have been more imaginative with the outfits in more colors, as well as a bit more patterns. And they can still keep Ryan looking snazzy in a vest. And the footage being reused throughout the episodes is noticeable. The heroes transforming into their suits is one thing, but clips of the aerial assault and JB blasting a big ship with his big blaster being reused several times? Not for me. Initially, the storyline goes that Ryan wants to find his father as he and his teammates have to fight off an evil empire led by Grimlord, which has something to do with the father's disappearance. So, what is it about Ryan's family? If his father wasn't the only person who ever raised him, why hasn't there been anything in the show about Ryan's biological mother? As for when Ryan and his father were reunited, I think it didn't happen at the right part of the show. That moment should have been treated like a finale. If the producers want the show to have another season, the best time to see the two in arms again is in such an episode that, after that episode, the studio takes a break from producing the show. Ryan having a pet dog ending up being able to literally speak is something useful if it was applied the best. But I hate the way the dog was mouthed when I had to hear him. And while it has its own enemies per episode, only one of the heroes is needed to blow them up. Throughout the show's run, JB finished the most of them. When it was Ryan finishing one, it was only occasional in the first season, but more frequent in the second season after he got a new suit, but still less than JB. So if Ryan is the leader, how is it that JB ends up doing the most battling against Grimlord's combatants? Does it give any impression that JB is the leader? And where does it leave Caitlin? She never even had her own finishing attack. It's like she's the least significant, even as a transformed heroine. If the troopers are in a team, why is it occasional to rare that they're seen in their suits together? More often than not, Ryan is doing something on his own while JB and Caitlin, whenever she's with him, are doing something else. Something I shouldn't leave out. In the first season, there's something called Battle Grid Mode. When that happens, all three heroes are immediately put in different suits and sent to some place to fight off more Skugs. These suits are spandex like those of the Power Rangers and resemble both the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the suits they transform into. And it never happens in the second season. Does it have anything to do with Ryan's new suit? Either way, I can't find this necessary for the show if it doesn't occur as often as it was supposed to. Though I deem the spandex suits look rather good to the point that I prefer them more than the other suits. Some other changes I saw in the second season that I'm mixed about are Grimlord having a different appearance and a different headquarters, and Caitlin having shorter blonde hair. Some of the evil empire newly consisting of human-like characters is what makes me shake my head. I never watched the episode, which I never will, but there is one occasion when the heroes and Grimlord join forces. Having to watch something like that is not easy, and I doubt most people would disagree. When I was able to do my research, some of my findings are a bit of a boggle. VR Troopers is also an adaptation series as with Power Rangers. There is another Japanese franchise of television shows with similar elements of Super Sentai. The name that tells me enough is Metal Hero. Perhaps the second successful Japanese television franchise for its time after Super Sentai. What's more surprising, but only nearly to the point of shocking, is that VR Troopers uses footage from several Metal Hero shows throughout its run. First of all, Metal Hero shows features single heroes, and it's only occasional that there are partners or sidekicks involved. And action footage from a couple separate series and one more later on just to give justification that there are three in a team. Sometimes they look like they don't need to be in a team. When the audience sees the three heroes in their suits together, the quality differs from the original footage. The next thing is, the shows which Saban somehow got the footage are all from different years in the second half of the 1980s. It doesn't seem right when they reuse shows from a different decade, let alone the picture quality. And then I read the worst of things. The studio chose to end the show without an ending for the show. Reason being that there weren't any more stuff to adapt? So what, they didn't bother to film their own thing and have the show have a conclusion? Besides, relying on the Japanese material isn't fully reliable, to be honest. In a perspective, Grimlord is a menacing overlord. Don't viewers want to see him get rid of? How many episodes does it take for that to happen, if not less than 100, since the show was in syndication? Maybe the producers came to a consciousness that what they were doing isn't worth the time, money, energy, and effort invested in from the beginning. I'm not sure what Saban visioned for this to happen, but what I ended up seeing doesn't seem to live up to its full potential. It's not on the same level as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as Saban ever hoped for. Did VR Troopers try too hard or not hard enough? However much potential it had, the performance wasn't enough. It looks more like separate shows in one, in a way that the people tried to make it work, but didn't always work. I'm better off watching Power Rangers and would rather see the original shows that the footage comes from, much less an adaptation of a Metal Hero show from the most recent year. Given the heart that it has, I respect that Saban tried something else but similar nevertheless. Still, this is a show that has no proven point of existing, especially with its mission of being incomplete. Now let me ask you, have you seen VR Troopers? Did you like anything from it? Do you think it should exist at all? And do you think that if the shows of Metal Hero deserve to be adapted into something in English, it should have started sooner? Type down your answers. I'd like to see them. And thanks for watching.